You're listening to the Life Edit Project podcast, the show where recovering perfectionists get what they need to feel better, do better, and have better relationships. I'm your favorite life coach and podcast host, Coach Elizabeth, and today I'm just going to give you a little mid-year pep talk as we wrap up the first half of 2025. Ready? Let's go. Good day, good people. Welcome back to episode 110 of the Life Edit Project podcast. Um, I hope that I sound okay on this episode. Listen, y'all, I am actually feeling under the weather. I wasn't even sure that I was going to have enough voice to record this, but I'm here and I'm going to make this really quick because that's all I got. So, one thing I'm thinking about is how this is actually the last Wednesday of June. And next week is July. But before we turn the page, I just wanted us to all kind of collectively pause and think about what we've done and what we've accomplished in the first half of the year. And I don't know if anyone else is going to say this to you, so I will be the one to say this to you, but you've made it so far. There is nothing yet that has actually stopped you, because if you're still here, and you're still thinking about it, there's still something you can do to go after it and make it happen. Things might not have gone according to plan. Things might not have gone perfectly. It might not have been effortless for you to get where you are, but you are still here and you deserve to be celebrated. So now, if you're anything like me or like most of my coaching clients, at the top of the year, you probably set some big, hairy, audacious goals, right? Some of your goals were probably a bit ambitious. They would have required a lot out of you. Some folks might even have called them unrealistic. But I know better than that. I know that sometimes goals are just the things that we want. And when our vision is big, our goals end up big too. And I also know that midway through the year, you might be starting to reflect on how far you've gotten. And maybe you haven't hit those goals yet. Maybe you're not halfway to your goals like you expected to be. Maybe you've changed your mind on some things. Maybe you've had to slow down for various reasons. Or maybe you've even ghosted some of your plans. I want you to know that all of that is normal. Setting big goals is normal. Hitting your goals is normal. Not hitting your goals is normal. Slowing down or even taking a time out, all of that is just normal human stuff. And even if you feel like you're not where you're supposed to be, it doesn't have to mean that you haven't made any progress. So before we rush into the second half of the year, I just want to invite you to pause and reflect a bit. And I wanted to offer you a couple of questions to journal on, or maybe you can just even think through your responses to some of these questions while you're, doing other things, right? It doesn't have to be that serious, but I do want you to think about some of this. And then we'll see where we land, all right? So here are 5 questions for you. The first question is, what have I done so far this year that I'm proud of? This is such an important question. So often we think about what we've accomplished, but not how we feel about it. And so I want you specifically to find the things that you are proud of, especially if you happen to be a perfectionist or a recovering perfectionist. It's all too easy to dwell on the things that we're not proud of, on the things that we feel like we want to beat ourselves up over. But I want you to think specifically about what you're proud of. Question number 2. Where did I surprise myself even a little? So I know we love to make a good plan, and sometimes the plan doesn't always go according to plan. And it's in those moments where things aren't what we expect that we learn things about our situations and about ourselves. And it's really important that we actually capture what it is that we're learning so that we can integrate these new things about ourselves. Question number 3. What have I learned the hard way, and how has it made me stronger? Not all lessons come easy, and they don't have to, but it is really important when you do something the hard way that you honor and recognize the growth that it has required of you. Question number 4. What's one thing I need to release before I step into my next season? And your next season can be anything. It can literally be the summer season or the fall season. You can be talking about a season of changing jobs or a season of change in your relationship, whatever it is. I don't know what your next season is. You do. What is one thing you need to release before going into that? And question number 5, what deserves more of my attention in the second half of the year? Because let me remind you of this, not everything actually deserves your attention. You don't need to think about or spend time with anything and everyone, right? So, what deserves more of your attention as we go into the second half of 2025? I also wanted to do this episode, just this reflection here, because I know that we perfectionists or recovering perfectionists, we love a good finish line, right? We want to see results. We want the gold stars and the trophies and the accolades. But sometimes the real win isn't what we accomplish. Sometimes the real win is just staying in the game and being able to say, I'm still here and I'm still trying. So if so far 2025 has not gone the way you'd hoped, that's cool. It doesn't have to mean that your year is over. It just means that you're still writing your story and there's a lot of pages left. So give yourself credit for showing up. Give yourself permission to pivot and change direction if that's what you need to do to salvage the rest of the year. And above all, give yourself grace, all the grace. You are not required to execute perfectly on whatever the vision was that you had for 2025. And so you can still go for it. Next month, we are going to be talking about what it actually means to reset, to regroup, to realign, and to come back to yourself. But for right now, I just want you to pause, take a breath, journal, and celebrate how far you've come. And remember, you are always allowed to make a fresh start whenever you feel like you need one. All right? I will be back in your ears next week with another episode, one that will be juicier than this one. In the meantime, if there's anything that you want me to know, feel free to drop me a line over on social media. I'm in all the places at Life Edit Project, all one word, and I would love to hear from you. And of course, if you're interested in signing up for one-on-one coaching so that you have this kind of encouragement and support in your ear for months at a time, I'm your girl. Holla at your girl. There's a link in the show notes that will help you get on my calendar so that we can talk about how working together can help you reach your goals and make the most out of what's left of 2025. All right, that's it for now. Go reflect before you just jump into the next thing. All right, peace.